welcome to another episode of Classic Gamer 74. I'm your host, Anthony Gamer.
And I am Andy Gator.
And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing more golf games. In a previous episode, I discussed some of my favorite golf games that went across many different platforms.
That's right, some of the platforms that we discussed were the, Atari 2600, a computer, and all kinds of stuff like that.
Exactly. And we're going to do the same in today's video. The games that are going to be discussed were either games that didn't make the last cut or ones that I've recently discovered. Incidentally, Al, I didn't know you were a golf fan.
Oh yeah, I likes to hang out at the golf course all the time.
Wait a minute, aren't you the one that likes to snatch people's balls when they get them too close to the water hazard on the 6th hole?
Yeah, that's me.
I thought so.
Hey, you want to buy some balls?
No, I'm good, thank you. So, without further ado, let's get into the games. You ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
Alright then, let's hit it.
And our first game for today is Champion Golf from 1983. This was made for the Sega SG-1000. Now, you have to remember, as this game came out in 1983, it did not employ the 3-tap method that a large percentage of the games on today's list will have. Actually, with this one, you aim with the caddy. You kind of place the caddy in the spot where you want the ball to go. Now, how you determine how far the ball goes is you look at the golfer's position of swing. Now, depending on when you hit the button is depending on how far the ball goes. Man, that sounds like that can be a pain. Yeah, it doesn't always work. You think that you're hitting a long drive, but then you time it just wrong, and then you end up just putting the ball a little bit. So, kind of a little buggy in that sense, but, you know, it was a heck of a lot better than most of the golf games that came before it, so you can't really complain. And our next game on the list is Pro Golf Saru from 1987 for the Famicom Disk System. Quite a few of the games that were released for the Famicom Disk System were later released for the NES, but not all of them. This is one of those games that never did get a US release. Now, in this game, you are golfing in some very bizarre areas with some really interesting obstacles like a twister, some huge trees, mountains, bottomless pits, and birds. As you can see, that bird's actually helping me out right there. It doesn't come with a caddy, but you do have a training exercise that you can do before you start the game. I honestly have to say, for being a game that never got released in the US, it is a really fun game. Very difficult, but yet still a whole lot of fun. And next up we have Great Golf from 1987 from the Sega Master System. One thing that this game employs is the 2-click method, and that again is only for power, as aiming with this game is pretty easy, although you do sometimes have to take into account the wind. But generally speaking, you just kind of point and you hit the ball. Before the game starts, you do have to choose your clubs though, so probably having a little bit of experience with golfing may help you some. Honestly, though, this game reminds me a lot of some of the games that I talked about in the previous episode with some of those long load screens. That can be kind of annoying, but to be honest with you, this is definitely a game for the beginning video game golfer because of its simplicity. So if you're just starting out on some golf games or you want to play some golf games and you need one to start off on so you can kind of pick up things, this is the one to try.
And now for today's trivia question. We haven't done one of those in a while, have we?
No, we still haven't.
Okay, so, which famous golfer has a drink named after him? And, helpful hint, it's non-alcoholic. You think you know the answer? Wait till the end and see if you're right.
Okay, and next up we have PGA Tour Golf 91 for the Sega Genesis. Now this one you can call the elite of golf games, as it was the very first in this series that is still going on as far as I know today. Is it? I'm pretty sure it is. Okay then, so you have real players and real golf courses. You got them instant replays, of course. It uses the 3-tap method like a lot of games. Now, it's not really difficult, but you know, you got to kind of take your time, and luckily for you, some of the masters will give you hints for how to do each hole before you even start. Also, you have a very good caddy that picks out clubs for you, so you never have to worry about missing a hole. Alright, next up for the Atari Lynx, we have Awesome Golf. This was released in 1991. Okay, now on this game here, you have a choice of 3 courses to play on. You also have this gopher that kind of praises you and laughs at you if you make a bad shot. Caddyshack, anyone? That's true. You get to choose your own clubs, as you don't really have a caddy there helping you. Even a one you can't see, like in some of the other games. Honestly, the thing I like most about this game is it's very easy to use the Powerball. We ain't playing the lottery here. Oh, that's right, a power bar and the aim. So again, this is another good game for a beginning golf video game player. And of course, just like anything that was released for the Atari Lynx, it's an amazing game, period. Next up, for the PC from 1992, we have Microsoft Golf. Now, this game is very technical, very realistic. You're not going to probably find a much more realistic golf game up till that point than this game. It has some really cool audio where the golfer thinks out loud. There's some helpful hints that come along. You have a caddy. Can't see them, but you have them there. The game loads really quickly, very smooth, just a great golf game, and one for the serious golfer. In a lot of ways, I kind of describe this game as a new version of World Class Leaderboard. Remember, I talked about that. Also a computer golf game in the previous episode, but this is a much more hyped up and just amazing game. Like I said, you cannot ask for a more serious golf game than this one. A must play. And next up for the Neo Geo, we have NeoTurf Masters from 1996. Now, in this game, you choose from 6 different players that each have their strengths and weaknesses, and you play a variety of courses from around the world. Arcade action, very realistic. The power meter and height meter are pretty easy to figure out. You have voices. Player gets all frustrated and stuff. It's really a whole lot of fun. But I'll be honest, it's kind of a coin muncher because sometimes you may not do very well on a particular hole and you only get so many chances to hit par and then game over. And of course the only way to keep the game going is to plug another quarter in, which I can imagine was something that some people really did, because once you get going on a game like this, you want to see it to the end. But besides that, like most games for the Neo Geo, it is really awesome and a whole lot of fun.
And our final game for today is Everybody's Golf VR for the PlayStation 4. Now, here's a couple tools of the trade that you need in order to have your VR experience. Of course, the first thing here are the VR goggles. They fit very comfortably on your head, and after so much time, you're really thinking that you're in that particular place.
Oh yeah, you said it.
And of course you need the VR wand. Now this works great with the golf game, and I'll tell you the truth, after playing this for a while, it feels like you're really swinging a golf club. So without further ado, let's check it out.
Now what some people may not know is that the series Everybody Golf has been around since 1997, and it's been exclusive for Sony. Now this is the first VR game in that series. You have lots of places to go. The lobby where you start off, then you can go to the practice range. When you're at the practice range, you can practice your drive on the bottom floor and a higher up floor. You can practice your putting and your approach, which is something I sometimes feel that I don't get enough practice on. Oh yeah, that's for sure. Now the golf courses are really cool. Now you're able to unlock up to 3. You have, of course, the caddies. Now the caddy here is really sweet. She is very helpful. She praises you, and she gives you support when you don't do that well. Actually, Yeah, most of the caddies are like that. You have another girl that's very no-nonsense. She's not there, like, just, you know, cheering you on. She's encouraging. And then you have this one caddy that you can unlock. She's kind of distracting, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, there's lots and lots of cool stuff to unlock or purchase. You can purchase stuff for around $5, so it's not like, you know, with some DLC packs on these newer games when it cost you just about as much as the game did. You have some game variations or options you can choose. For instance, you can do 3 random holes, you can do the first 6, or the last 6. I haven't quite yet unlocked the 18-hole course. I'm going to be getting there eventually, I'm sure. You can also play in tournaments with people around the world. Best way to describe this game, it's realistic, but you know, most of all, it's just a whole lot of fun. I have spent many hours playing this game. I actually got this for Christmas. My wife got me the VR headset, but I was so sick at Christmas time, I really didn't get a chance to appreciate it and play it very much. But once I got better, I have just been in love with this game ever since.
If you have a PlayStation 4 and don't have the VR headset, you're really cheating yourself out of a great gaming experience. And the answer to today's trivia question, what is the name of the famous golfer that has a drink named after him, is...
Arnold Palmer. This non-alcoholic drink is a mixture of tea and lemonade. Of course, you know you could do it with alcohol. How would you do that? Well, take the tea and mix it with Mike's Hard Lemonade. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I'll have to try that once, you know, all this stuff ends and I can actually confidently go to the liquor store. Yeah, that's true. Boy, it's obvious this channel is not made for children because we talking about liquor. Well, you know, that's true, but anyway.
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Classic Gamer 74. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do.
Give us a great big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And please, don't forget to click that little bell icon down there so you'll be notified when we upload new episodes.
In our next episode, we're going to be discussing more prototypes for the Atari 5200. These games are children's and learning games. Wait a minute, what's the matter? You mean they actually made learning and children's games for the Atari 5200? I thought their focus was on the arcade games. Well, it was, but at one time they did almost make games for children and learning. We'll discuss that more next week, so don't miss it.
Well, until next time, I'm Anthony Gamer.
And I am Alligator.
And we hope to see every one of you in the next episode. Until then, be safe, stay home, and stay healthy. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Highway, and man, she's in a hurry. She holds onto that wheel like a cowboy holds his reins. She doesn't even notice that the windshield is splattered. It's splattered, splattered, splattered with some poor creature.